boys and girls. Today's learning target is I can split numbers into parts that are easier for me to multiply. So today is going to be all about figuring out ways to solve multiplication problems using facts you already know. Now, we're going to be learning ways to make multiplying numbers easier by splitting them into friendlier parts. So here's our focus problem for today. Ty has 6 bunches of carrots. There are 3 carrots in each bunch. How many carrots does Ty have altogether? Now you've probably already got a few strategies in your brain for solving problems like this. But today we're going to try breaking the numbers and making them easier to multiply. Now first, we know that multiplying is a shortcut for adding equal groups. And let's start by writing an equation that matches the problem. This is always one of your first steps when you solve a story problem because it helps you make a game plan for figuring out what you're going to do next. In this case, there were 6 bunches, 6 groups, and each group has 3 carrots. So 6 times 3 is our equation. Now, I made a group, a circle, of 5 of those bunches because multiplying by 6 is kind of challenging, but I know that I am really strong at multiplying by 5. I know you guys are too from some of our earlier lessons. So instead of multiplying all 6 bunches, I'm going to break that 6 into a group of 5 bunches and a bunch left over. It might look like that. Now, the 5 bunches here, this is 5 bunches of 3. And I know that 5 times 3 is 15. That was much easier. In my leftover bunch, I have one group of 3. 1 times 3 is just 3. Now, there are 15 carrots in this first set of bunches. And there's 3 carrots in the second set of bunches. We're looking at the product or the answer for these 2 equations. I can now put both of these answers together, both of these products, and take the 15 that I know from here and add it with the 3 from here. 15 plus 3 is 18. 18 is the answer to 6 times 3. So let's focus on what we did just from an equation standpoint. Here's where we started. 6 times 3 equals something. We didn't know the answer to 6 times 3, but we did know 5 times 3. So we broke the 6 into a 5 and a 1. Then we multiplied each of the parts by 3. For the 5, we did 5 times 3. That was 15. And for the 6, we did 1 times 3. That was 3. Then we took the products, the answers for those 2 equations, and put them back together to get 6 times 3 is 18. Now, we could have drawn an array for 6 times 3. Look down here at this picture. Here we have 3 across and 6 tall. And just like before, doing 6 times 3 was challenging for me, so I broke it into an array of 5 times 3, that was 15, and an array of 1 times 3, that's 3. We still get the answer of 18 when we put those all together. Look at all the different ways you could write an equation for what we just did. There was the starting equation of 6 times 3. We could also use parentheses. You could have gone 5 plus 1 for that 6 and multiply the answer to that times 3. Or you could even stretch it out further. This is what we actually did on the previous slide. First, we solved 5 times 3, because remember, you always do what's in the parentheses first. Then we did 1 times 3. And after we had gotten rid of the parentheses and had answers instead, we added them up. Okay, Now that was a little quick. You can always go back and re-watch it if you need to. But we're going to take a moment to do some practice. You have a Jamboard full of practice problems today. As you're working through these practice problems, remember that you can split numbers into parts to make them easier to multiply. You can also come to office hours if you would like to work with me and get some help. Use your strategies, have fun, and I'll see you in the next video.